Now, we have photographs or tapes, like moving cameras, right?
President Donald Trump's cognitive health is once again under the spotlight after critics claimed the US president appeared to struggle to remember the word video while speaking about an alleged vandalism case involving the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool in Washington, D.C. During an Oval Office interaction, Trump expressed disappointment with US Attorney Jeanine Pirro over her decision to drop the case. He said he was disappointed because, according to him, people were getting away with damaging a national landmark. The controversy stems from renovation work at the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. Back in May, Trump had promised to repair leaks and other issues at the historic site, claiming the revamp would last for the next 50 years. But within days of the work being completed, reports claimed the coating began peeling, pieces of the patriotic American flag blue liner were floating in the water, and algae had already started forming. The Trump administration blamed vandals for the damage. However, Pirro reportedly concluded the problems were the result of poor construction work rather than vandalism. According to The Independent, she even brought a box of evidence to the White House before deciding to drop the case.
But these monuments look better than they did when they were originally built. Not just a little fix-up. We made them the way they were, plus. And everyone's so proud. The biggest, one of the bigger jobs was, not really the biggest, believe it or not, but one of the biggest was the reflecting pool. And we did a great job. We sandblasted the stone outside. It was granite, so it has a long life. We did a great job. We got very expensive material to put on top of the surface that always leaked because it was stone. It was a stone surface. Always leaked. And we put it on, and it was beautiful. Now, we have photographs or tapes, like moving cameras, right? We have them where people are on the side cutting it with a box knife. Now, I'm not saying I was 100% thrilled with the contractor, but the contractor was rushing. We wanted to get it open for July 4th, and we got it done. But in addition, there was vandalism. It looked beautiful. And then they cut it, and they vandalized. And we weren't necessarily thrilled with the contractor, but they did a job, and they were fixing any problems. But then it got carried away because the judge was extremely unfriendly to Jeanine. And frankly, I think she choked because the judge was really vicious. Instead of going after the people that did it, the judge went after her and went after her department. And I guess she choked. We essentially use a very high-grade swimming pool type material, which was my idea. I was very proud of that idea. And by the way, I didn't know the contractor. Everyone said the contractor. I didn't know the contractor. But when it was completed, it was perfect. And I was disappointed with Jeanine Pirro, really disappointed with Jeanine Pirro. She folded like an umbrella, and people get away with things, and it's a disgrace. But we're very proud of Lafayette Park. Now we have a big decision to make. Do we take the pavers that are red, you know, the red brick pavers, and do we change them into a granite? It's a gray granite, they're beautiful, but they're not the original.
That's when political commentator David Pakman seized on another moment from Trump's remarks. Pakman argued that Trump appeared unable to recall the word video while talking about surveillance footage, instead referring to photographs and moving cameras. Pakman said the moment reflected what he described as Trump's growing cognitive struggles. He pointed out that Trump even gestured toward the camera filming him, yet still seemed unable to land on the word he was looking for.
Now, we have photographs or tapes, like moving cameras, right?
Pakman went on to claim the president had lost his ability to easily access vocabulary, reigniting online debate over Trump's mental sharpness. And questions over President Trump's health aren't stopping there. The president is now facing another wave of online speculation after new photos of his hands went viral, with critics claiming they looked swollen, bruised, and even, as some put it, rotting. President Donald Trump has once again become the center of online speculation, but this time it's not because of a speech or a policy announcement. Instead, it's his hands that have social media talking. The 80-year-old president made a public appearance on Monday, August 3rd, and new photos from the event quickly went viral, with several users claiming his hands looked unusually swollen, bruised, and discolored. One viral post even claimed that Trump's hands appeared to be rotting more than usual, triggering a flood of reactions across X. In one widely shared image, Trump's hands are clasped together, and some online users claimed his fingers appeared noticeably puffy. One reaction read, "They look swollen. That paint doesn't match his skin tone. What is even going on with that top thumb?" Another user took it a step further, comparing the president's hands to lacquered stuffed sausages. A third mocked Trump's appearance by bringing up his long-discussed hand size, writing, "Short, fat little fingers and little hands." Others weren't just focused on his hands. One person claimed Trump looked particularly swollen overall, saying his face, neck, and hands all appeared puffier than usual. Another joked that perhaps he'd simply spent the weekend shaking too many hands at the country club. But not everyone was convinced there was anything unusual going on. Several users pushed back against the speculation, pointing out that bruising on the hands can be common in older adults. One person explained that sun damage, frequent hand use, or even medications like aspirin can make bruises appear more noticeable. Another commenter added, "I'm only 71 and I get those bruises. I don't like Trump, but those bruises are from sun damage." The conversation also revived an issue that surfaced several times over the past year. Trump's right hand has repeatedly become the subject of online speculation after visible bruising appeared during previous public appearances. The debate grew so widespread that the White House previously addressed the issue, insisting there was no underlying medical concern behind the marks. Still, the latest photos have reignited fresh questions online, with supporters dismissing the claims as overblown, while critics continue dissecting every new image of the president's appearance. And speaking of renewed health speculation, this isn't the only recent moment that's put President Trump under the microscope. The president sparked another wave of debate after appearing to mistake an ABC News reporter for someone from the BBC during a live briefing aboard Air Force One. What started as a serious discussion about Iran and possible peace talks quickly turned into one of Donald Trump's most talked about moments aboard Air Force One. Instead of focusing on negotiations in the Middle East, the conversation suddenly shifted to something entirely different. A reporter identified herself as being from ABC News, but Trump appeared to mishear her, leading to an awkward exchange that has now gone viral. The clip spread rapidly across social media, with critics questioning if the US president struggling to hear amid health concerns. But what exactly happened, and why is everyone talking about it? Here's the full story. The exchange happened while US President Donald Trump was speaking to reporters aboard Air Force One on August 2. Much of the briefing focused on the ongoing conflict involving Iran. Trump claimed that fresh negotiations were about to begin and suggested military action had been paused because diplomacy was making progress. But as reporters continued asking questions, that is when the now viral moment occurred. A journalist introduced herself before speaking, and a minor slip turned into a storm on social media.
BBC? Oh, ABC, that's worse. I like BBC better than ABC.
The unexpected remark briefly shifted attention away from the discussion about Iran and quickly became the most shared moment from the entire media briefing. The online reaction was immediate and sharply divided. One social media user wrote, "Maybe a reporter should just reply with, 'It doesn't matter, please answer the question,' and then just watch him absolutely implode." Another commented, "When he pulls that, the reporter should come back. Why does it matter?" Others further joked, "Trump ranking news networks like their restaurants is the most 2026 thing ever." As with many moments involving the president, the clip quickly evolved into a broader political debate online. Whether viewers saw it as a harmless distraction, an unnecessary distraction, or a moment that raised fresh questions, one thing is certain. A press briefing that began with discussions about Iran and possible peace negotiations ended up being dominated by a brief exchange over three familiar letters, ABC and BBC. And once again, a few seconds aboard Air Force One proved enough to ignite another political debate across America.